Beautiful out here today, but windy as per usual, and it's a cold easterly wind too. I found enough since I've been over this field a few times now to keep me interested. By that I mean, if I'm still finding bits and pieces, albeit they might not be the most fascinating, it means there might be other better stuff that I've missed before. Well, that's my thinking anyway. I found quite a nice little buckle, not very early one. I found a very nice little fossil. Tasky, where's my fossil? Tasky, thank you. Well, you wait to see it so well, it's got saliva on it now. Okay, but look, that's a really lovely one. It's a shame it's not full, but it's got some lovely detail. Nice echinoid, that. In very clear stone as well. Quite often they're very chalky. Really like that. Get off my echinoids. And I found what I presume is either a William or Georgian coin. Because I'm going to take it nice and slowly. I've got a few days to do it in, and as soon as I lose concentration or get a bit bored, I'll stop and come back. So I'm in no rush, and I bet I find something quite nice as a result. Hopefully that's good karma. Well, I've just dug quite a nice bit of silver. Hammered silver. I don't know what it is yet because I haven't cleaned it up. We'll do it in a second. And it's not an entire coin either, it's half a coin. Let's have a little look. Sounds a bit leady, I'm afraid, or buttony. But whatever it is, it's left in that tiny little button. I think it's a little lead button. Is it lead? Yeah, it might be. Anyway, let's have a look at this bit of silver. I don't think it's not a cut half because it's too big, but it is cut, looks like it's cut straight down the middle, or that's where it's broken. Let me see what's in there. Bend it, see if I can bend it slightly. And it's probably Elizabethan, isn't it, or James. There's the top of a shield there. Don't know if you can see that. I'm not sure what's on that side. Anyway, hooray! Nice to find a bit of silver still in this field. I'm not going to spit on it, even though I probably would if the cameras weren't ready. Right, don't watch. 1562. I should know who was on the throne in 1562, but I don't. Probably Elizabeth. But that's lovely, isn't it? Okay, hooray. Hey Siri. Who was on the throne in 1562?
Okay, I found this on the web for who was on the throne in 1562. Check it out.
If it were Alexa, she'd tell me. Elizabeth I. I really should have known that. Okay, just found another small coin. It's rather a thin, wonky copper. They're quite delicate. And I'm not sure if we're going to get any detail out of that. But it's, certainly got some age to it. And that's pre-Georgian. The Georgians didn't make coins like that. Whether it's William. Gosh, I just don't know. It's got a really nice feel about it, these. But I've got a very strong signal. Yes. Just there. Gosh, it's a strange one, this. I don't know which way it's going to go. I don't feel for the good. It sounds a bit leady. Gosh, now that's really, really, really unusual. It's a Roman brooch. I've never found anything Roman in this field. Really nice. But that's the last thing I expected to see here. I don't know the type. Is it dolphin? It always throws me rather when something like this happens. How, I won't go on about it, but really nice to find, but gosh. And the other thing I found just now, which is much more the sort of thing I expect, is a little copper coin, and I think it might be Charles II, because I am finding a few of those here. I've got another one, funny enough, on me, which I quite like carrying the odd old coin around in my change. I'm not sure if it's not the same. Yeah, I think almost certainly. I can't see a Carolus, not yet anyway. But I think that's another Charles II copper coin. The one I'm carrying around is in really nice condition. I found that in this field too. Well, guess what? It's absolutely freezing again. And there's a really strong easterly cold wind. Doesn't feel like the beginning of April at all. But I've found a couple of quite nice things. A couple of nice buckles and a rather nice little key, which I'll show you in a minute. Watch out, Task. Two really nice buckles. I really like that one. That's quite an unusual one, I think. Here's a second one, very thin. Tasky. And one very nice little key. I don't find that many keys, but that's a particularly sweet one. Anyway, hopefully it'll warm up a little bit. I'm not doing that many live digs at the moment because it's just too cold. I don't want to stop and set the camera up and stuff. I mean, we detect in colder in winter, but it's not supposed to be winter now, and it just doesn't feel right. Sorry, I'm having a real rant, but I'm just sort of a bit pissed off with this weather. That sounds really nice. Faint, deep, and I've just found what I think is a medieval jetton. So I've got something to show you anyway. Tasky is being brilliant today. It's the first day that without a whistle, I've managed to, he hasn't gone running off after anything, and there's been cyclists and walkers and dogs, and he's been brilliant. Tasky, come on. Proper sound for a tiny button. A tiny button. But let's have a look at this jetton while I'm here. This gave a really dull sound. I mean, I thought it was probably just a bit of the end of a cartridge. You know, not the full end, but just the top end. And that's exactly what it looks like. Low conductor, but when I cleaned it off, I'm sure it's a European jetton of sorts. Anyhow, I can read sort of lettering, old lettering around the side. So that's really nice. Oh my God, it is Arctic out here, and Tasky's had all my gloves, so I'm having to stop every 5 minutes just to warm my hands up. Doesn't affect him at all. Well, it's been a really odd morning. The detecting gods have not been kind till about 2 minutes ago. Tasky's being a bit naughty, but I've been thrown a massive crumb. I honestly thought this was going to be another cartridge. And imagine how dull that sounded in the ground. That's not. I think it's a denarius. If it's not a denarius, it's a furry. It's a fake one. Or perhaps it might be a silqua. I haven't found that many silquas, so they might not even be pronounced silqua. I pronounce them silqua. But I'm absolutely, completely made up with that. I mean, I haven't a clue who it is. I think that's some sort of person sitting down on a throne or something. I've had bronze coins with that on before, but not a silver one. The least expected find you could possibly ask for after the most horrendous morning, finding nothing and just getting cold. I mean, I honestly almost packed it in about 3 minutes ago. Well, it's funny what a really, really cracking find can do, isn't it? I mean, that's given me renewed strength to really, keep at it. Wow. Brilliant. Well, I've got a very strong signal here. Gosh, the sun's come out and it's much warmer suddenly. I found a nice hammered coin I'll show you in a minute, and an interesting bit of shell. God, I found a couple of really nice things, and when I'm live digging, it's just rubbish. It's just a nasty bit of foil. But I do realise that when I was showing you that Roman silver, I didn't have my thing on. So I will just show what that sounded like. Quite dull sounding. I mean, you could be forgiven on other occasions and not bothering with that. I thought this was a cut half. It's not. It's one of those ones that have been folded over. Now, I don't think it's been folded over on purpose, but the jury's probably out on that, and the jury is definitely out on why they folded them in the first place, if there was a reason even. This might be by accident, so I've got to decide whether to try and unfold it or not. What do you think? If you've got any strong feelings on that, do let me know. And then this, which I think is a bit of an oyster, which again would definitely point to a Roman sort of bit here, even though I've only found 2 items of Roman in all the times that I've come on this field now. So I just don't know. I found a couple more little coins. A George III halfpenny, I think, in quite nice condition. Gosh, they give a really nice sound, these. And then a tiny little hammered. Oops. It's not in the best condition. It might be just a tiny little Henry VII or 8th. And it's been cut, not intentionally. But a nice little find all the same. Always the same, isn't it? Calling it a day when it finally sun comes out, it's nice and warm, because it's been a bitter morning. But anyway, look, thank you very much for joining me, and see you next time.